Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be going through a recent purchase that I made. It cost $3,676, and it was from a coin shop, and so I'm super excited. I want to show off all the items, and there's going to be like a unboxing of World Silver, because we just bought this based off of weight, haven't looked at what's inside, so I'm excited for that part. This is going to be pretty quick because most of it I've already started to flip up, and I was like, hey, why don't I make a video out of this? It's like $4,000, a little bit less obviously of coins, and would be fun to talk about. So that's exactly what we're going to do, but I'll take you through. Everything else is going to be pretty quick, but then we've got this was $350. This I did look at because of some Canadian stuff that I can show a little bit more clearly, but we'll show it off. There's also a few proof silver eagles in the mix, so I'm excited for the video. So I think I'll also make a quick comment here, which is exciting. So all of these, this is 100 Walking Liberty half dollars. There's like one proof Kennedy in there, but all of these are going to be given away on my Whatnot streams. I'm trying to aim for like 5 to 10, but really 10 in each of my streams. So I know that the one that I did this past Tuesday had 10 in there, and they've got encouraging verses on them, which relates to the person that was willing to sponsor me buying them, but they're going to be given away for free on my Whatnot. You just have to show up, and it'll probably be some sort of a random component, so it's, if there wasn't incentive to hang out and just spend time with everybody on the channel and on Whatnot and learn hopefully a bunch about ancient US, world, heirs, varieties, and regular coins, that's a little extra boost. But here, 1878S, we got a bunch of, let me get the lighting here, Morgan silver dollars. I think we got 22 pre-21s. And these actually cost a good amount. I'm not sure that I'll make any money on them. Some of them are kind of in that XF range, but there's also a little bit of cleaning on a good amount of them. Most of them are sort of like circulated VF to low XF. That one's a little bit nicer. So we'll see how those sell, but wasn't expecting to make up a bunch of ground there. Often it's just like people enjoy Morgan dollars, and I want to carry them in each one of my shows. So 1900 and then there's going to be something similar in terms of, was able to pick up some nice peace dollars. There's a 1940, and then it's a little bit more common to find some of the 1921s in a little bit better sort of XFAU shape, but nice and lustrous, a mix of PD mints. It's interesting, there's like so many different VAMs on them, and I really don't know them super well. Then I also grabbed 11 peace dollars, and these ones for the most part look pretty nice. Some of them had a mint mark or two, and so, they didn't have two mint marks. I got both Denver and San Francisco mint coins. Here are the remainder of the peace dollars. I think I paid I want to say on those silver dollars I averaged, I can actually tell you exactly what I averaged. I think it was $27.75. So good amount, probably not too small. These are the ones that I was going to give away. This one was not from this group, but it kind of looked fake, and so I don't think it looked fake. I bought it as a real coin for $13 on somebody else's Whatnot stream, but it just looked a little bit suspicious. Then there was a bit more Canadian back here, 1956, bunch of $66, and just thought that they were nice. Queen Elizabeth, obviously, 1952 to 2020. I want to say, was it 23 or 22 that she passed away? I forget exactly. But then there were also some nice, slightly earlier date Canadian sterling silver. That one's particularly nice, 1918, in pretty good shape. So that's all fun. Next up, we had this group of 20 drachma coins, all from 1960. I think I'll sell them in groups of 2, but definitely interesting world silver items, a little bit larger, and paid, basically spot for them. There were these 1927D, which is a slightly better date on the Standing Liberty quarter, hanging out. So I saw 6 of them and bought them. Not super expensive either. Then these Swiss francs. This was a pretty cool set. There's a little bit of PVC on them, but I'm going to break them out of the plastic and sell these probably in groups of 4. Then these I'm planning on just selling individually. They're pretty lustrous and people are interested. They're all 83.5% silver. And it's really cool because the Swiss francs, they didn't change at all since, their inception, basically, all the way back in the 1800s. There was different designs like the mid 1800s, but they've been virtually the same ever since. And then we also got a bunch of these nice chunky, and these ones I'll sell individually as well, 5 franc coins. Again, a little bit of PVC, that's probably the only thing holding a few of them back, but some earlier dates in the mix as well. Was happy about that. Then we do have these Proof American Silver Eagles. I won't show you all the dates. None of them have box and COA. Some of them just have sort of the box or the case. 1989, I think here's a 2010, I think there was a 03, 07, 88, 89, 90. That was a good mix of stuff. And then now it's probably time for the World Silver Hunt. So let's get into that and see what we've got. And we'll do the Canadian stuff first. I forgot, and here's 1917. I think this is mostly earlier date items, and some of them actually look pretty nice. 1928 is not as recent of a date, but there's a King Edward the 7th, 1902, 5 cents. That looks pretty nice. Here is a 20 centavos from 1911, it looks like, maybe 14, from Colombia. 1898 Queen Victoria, 5 cents from Canada. There's a 1911. Yeah, some of these are in very decent shape. There's a Russian 1914, 20 kopecks, 1943, 1 Swiss franc. And then over here, what else do we have? 1928 Canadian, 25 cents. Decent shape, 1949. What does that say? That looks like 1910 if I had to venture a guess. There's also 83.5% World War I 50 centimes from France. So I just find the World Silver really, really cool. It's a fun thing to build an often pretty inexpensive collection around, and you can always upgrade it and just buy more expensive coins that are relatively super cheap compared to whatever the US coins are trading for. So that those two are going to round out that batch, but this is probably the key one. Let's pour it all out and see what we're doing here. We've got, let's see, a Dutch 2.5 gulden from 1930. That's a good start. Queen Wilhelmina, some scratches on the front, but nice crown size World Silver. And this one also looks seriously impaired. 1939, also a Dutch one. Looks like it was kind of worn as a button, or I have no idea what happened to this. Yeah, it looks like it was in some sort of a pendant. So unfortunate to see that, but hopefully we'll get some premium. And I feel like there was some better stuff on a quick glance. 1907 S peso and a 1953 Canadian dollar, and more of the Swiss items. 1940 5 franc. That one's been pretty clean. 1954, and then a nice looking 1966. The herdsmen are always interesting. There we've got 1954 as well. Here's a Panamanian 1930 half Balboa and a 1932, so some larger items. And I feel like people generally like the Panamanian items. There's another 1930 half Balboa. We've got a no-date quarter Russian 10 kopek, 50% silver 1942 coin. Here's a 2 mark from Germany that actually looks pretty good from Hamburg. So been a while since I had a bunch of the German items, and there's a World War I half mark, and then a 1926 British 50% silver florin. Let's see what stands out here. There's a 3 pence 1891 from Queen Victoria and a 25-cent coin. There looks like a 50, probably Kirsch from I always forget, like, I would guess 1947 from Egypt. Something along those lines, but could be off there. Let me know if I was. There's a 1950 50 centavos from Mexico City. Have not seen that design before. Super cool. If that's rare, please tell me. Then we've got a counterstamped 1923 Costa Rican 50 centimos. It's always interesting how they do that counterstamping as opposed to just minting new coins. 62.5% German 5 marks, West German 5 marks, and a 1927 50% peso from Chile. Very nice. Mexican 10%. Here we've got a 1937 Fiji coin, 1940 Canadian. Ooh, what is that? Just interesting toning there. On this side, it looks like, who is that? Wilhelmina Königan. Probably from the early, it's so scratched up, but I think that would have been from like the early the early 1900s, excuse me. Cuban coin 1915. Then we've got a Dutch coin there and a Philippines 1944D 20 centavos. Let's see what else we've got going on here. We've got a 2 shilling. Here's an interesting Peruvian coin, 1927. Is that a half sol? Yep. I think it's 50% silver. A Mexican coin, 1 peso from 1950. Also don't exactly know what the silver content is. I would guess 50%, maybe 30%. There's a World War I 1 mark. Cuban, Panamanian, nothing too out of the ordinary here. We've got a Netherlands 25 cents and another World War I 50 centimes. So kind of a standard mix. That one looks a little bit older. 1925 Netherlands, 25 cents, but I was actually looking at the William the Fourth sixpence from 1934. Decent looking coin. A Russian 1912 20 kopecks, and whoa, that could be good. 1813 Ferdinand the Seventh fell down. Really neat. I would guess that this is either a one. I think it's a. Looks kind of like a half real, but it might be a 1 real. And Mexico City Mint Spanish Colonial 1813 coin. That's probably our best. Certainly, given that we paid on a multiple of melt. Well, then right here we have a non-silver 10 Rapin. So I guess stuff sort of washes out from the perspective of. I was going to say we paid melt for it, but we also paid melt for non-silver coins. So, British India, half rupee, 1881 shilling. Good stuff. Panamanian, half Balboa as well. There's a Venezuelan, pretty good 50 centimos, pretty good condition item. 1937. Here we've got a 1 mark from 1875, 1875C. If that's better, that would be great. Austrian 10 shilling is going to add a little bit more variety, and then an interesting tone 1906 half mark that looks like it's been cleaned. That coin looks good. We've got a 1915 10 centimos, but this is a 1839 Isabel 2 reals, or I think it's 2 reals from Spain. That's definitely a better item. I'll be pulling to the side. A 25 centavos, 1956, 72% from Guatemala. We've got a Canadian silver coin from 1943 that's still in pretty decent shape. A Dutch Antilles that's in the Caribbean. 1 golden, 1916 shilling. A better condition Panamanian half Balboa from 1930, which is great. And then as I look over here, some of the highlights will be this Central American, Costa Rican 50 centimos, another one of those, an earlier 2 francs. That's what I was talking about with the longevity of the design. This one looks old, 1904, 10th golden from Curacao. That's pretty cool. That's also a North American item. And then these last ones look pretty good. We've got a Russian coin, 1924. I know that's a better date on the 1 kopeck from the Soviet Union. We've got a 25 ore. We've got a nice condition 1886 3 pence that's been a hold, unfortunately. This could be a better coin, a 1 Reichsmark from 1925. And then this last one looks like a Victoria 3 pence, and I saw these as well, Cuban 10 centavos and a 1914 Canadian 5 cent coin. So again, I don't know what you think of how we did for a $3,676 coin purchase, but very solidly happy with the group that I picked up, and looking forward to seeing you in many of my auctions and other Treasure Town events. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to visit our website, treasuretown.com, to stay up to date on everything going on the channel and possibly get some great deals on coins and collectibles. We look forward to seeing you on our future videos, and best wishes until then.